The galactic medical facility on Station Kepler 7 hummed with the soft whir of alien technology, a symphony of clicks, chirps, and bioluminescent displays that never quite made sense to human eyes. Evan Rook pushed his cleaning cart down the sterile corridors, his worn jumpsuit a stark contrast to the sleek uniforms of the Velkari medical staff who barely acknowledged his presence. He didn't mind. Invisibility had its advantages when you were raising a daughter alone on a station where humans were still considered the galaxy's newest and least impressive species. It was during his third shift rounds in the pediatric wing that Evan first heard the crying. Not the universal wail of pain he'd learned to recognize across a dozen species, but something softer, desperate, the sound of someone who'd given up on being heard. The room was dimly lit, as most Velkari spaces were. Their species had evolved under a red giant, and their eyes were sensitive to the harsh white light humans preferred. In the corner, a small figure sat hunched on a medical bed, her lavender skin nearly gray in the darkness. Velkari physicians had long, elegant bodies and crystalline eyes that refracted light in mesmerizing patterns. This child, she couldn't have been more than 7 in human years, had those same features, but her eyes were clouded, opaque. "Hey there," Evan said softly, parking his cart by the door. The girl's head snapped up, those milky eyes somehow finding him despite their apparent blindness. "You speak common?" Her voice was small, accented with the musical lilt of her people. "I do. Name's Evan. What's yours?" "Lyraven." She turned her face away. "You shouldn't bother. The doctors say there's nothing to be done. I was born wrong." Evan's heart clenched. He'd heard similar words from his own daughter Sophie when kids at the station school had mocked her for having only one parent. "Mind if I sit?" Lyraven shrugged, and Evan settled onto the chair beside her bed. He'd learned enough about Velkari physiology from cleaning medical labs, probably more than he should know. Their entire civilization was built around light manipulation, communication through bioluminescent patterns, art forms that painted stories in photons. For a Velkari to be blind was to be cut off from the very essence of their culture. "The doctors have tried everything," Lyraven whispered. "Mother brings me here every week. They scan me, run tests, give me medicines that taste like copper and regret. Nothing works." Evan studied her in the dim light. There was something nagging at him, some detail that didn't fit. He'd spent 2 years cleaning this facility, watching treatments, absorbing information the way any single parent learned to do, desperately, hungrily, filing away anything that might help protect his child. "Lyraven, can I ask you something weird?" She tilted her head, curious despite herself. "When you're in your room at home, can you see better or worse than here?" "Better," she said immediately, then paused. "Wait. I mean, I see the same amount of nothing, but at home the nothing feels different, less heavy." Evan's pulse quickened. "And your mother? She keeps your home lit like a proper Velkari dwelling? Dim red light, lots of shadows?" "Of course. Bright light hurts her eyes." That was it. That was the piece that didn't fit. Humans were still the joke of the galaxy. Stubborn, short-lived, with no natural armor, no telepathy, no ability to survive in vacuum for even seconds. But humans had one thing most species didn't. They'd evolved as persistence hunters on a planet with a younger, brighter star. They'd learned to chase prey for days, to see in full spectrum, to adapt to environments that would kill more advanced species. And sometimes, Evan thought as he stood up, being underestimated was the greatest advantage of all. "Lyraven, I need you to trust me. Can you do that?" She nodded slowly. Evan walked to the wall panel and overrode the lighting controls, a trick he'd learned from months of watching technicians. The room flooded with harsh white light, the kind humans found comfortable and most aliens found overwhelming. Lyraven cried out, covering her face. I know, Evan said gently. Just for a moment. Please, open your eyes. It hurts. I know, but try. For me. Slowly, trembling, Lyraven lowered her hands. Her clouded eyes squinted against the glare, and then, I can see, she breathed. I can see shapes, colors, you. I can see you. Evan felt tears prick his own eyes. Your eyes aren't broken, kiddo. They're just different. Your mother's species evolved to see in dim red light, but you, something in your genetics made you need brighter wavelengths. In their light, you're blind. But in human light, I can see. Lyraven was laughing now, crying, staring at her own hands as if seeing them for the first time. Why didn't the doctors know? They're so much smarter than... She caught herself, glancing at Evan apologetically. Then humans? Evan smiled. Because sometimes being smart means you assume you know all the answers. They tested you with their equipment, under their conditions, looking for their diseases. They never thought to question the lighting. The door slid open, and a tall Velkari female rushed in, her bioluminescent patterns flashing alarm. What is happening? The alerts said... She froze, seeing her daughter staring directly at her for the first time. Mother, Lyraven whispered. Mother, I can see your light. It's beautiful. What followed was a blur of physicians, specialists, and administrators, all wanting to document this impossible breakthrough. Through it all, Evan quietly finished his rounds, pushing his cart to the next corridor while Velkari doctors claimed credit for the innovative treatment protocol. He was almost to the exit when Lyraven's mother found him. Human, she said, and for once the word wasn't dismissive. I was told a janitor discovered what my people's greatest medical minds could not. Evan shrugged. Just happened to notice something, ma'am. You gave me my daughter back. Her crystalline eyes shimmered with emotion. How can I ever... Tell her story, Evan interrupted gently. When she grows up, tell her that sometimes the answer comes from the most unexpected place, that being different isn't being broken, and that every species, even humans, has something valuable to contribute. The Velkari woman bowed deeply, a gesture of profound respect among her people. You are wise, Evan Rook. Nah. Evan smiled, thinking of Sophie waiting at home, probably still awake despite the hour. I'm just a dad. We notice things. As he walked back to his quarters, Evan passed windows showing the endless stars beyond. Somewhere out there, humanity was still fighting for respect, still proving they belonged among the ancient civilizations of the galaxy. They'd get there eventually, not through superior technology or ancient wisdom, but through the same stubborn persistence that had let them survive an unforgiving world. One small victory at a time, one light turned on in the darkness.